Slowly go ahead of me, keep going. You know when you get towards the top of that roundabout, stop towards the left. When you get to the top of that roundabout, stop towards the left, just be safe, I'll take you. Go ahead of him.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Like Ilyas said, a big Jazakumullahu khairan to all of you for attending today. Your attendance bears witness that we are one ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and borders can never divide us. And the only reason we are here today is because of La ilaha illallah wa Muhammadur Rasulullah. And the same way the angels will bear witness on Yawm al-Qiyamah for the thousands and thousands of shaheed that have died in Gaza, the ground you stand on today will testify for you. And the only reason we came here was for the Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar! The Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, our Ummah, our brothers and sisters, our mothers and fathers, daughters and sons. Before I mention what is required from us for our Ummah, I wanted to say it has been 37 days since the Zionists started butchering our Ummah. 37 days since they started this genocide. 37 days we see what is happening. Our hearts are torn apart. Our eyes are filled with tears and our anger is inconsolable. When we eat, we think of those who are starving there. When we sleep, we think of those who can't sleep because of the bombs that are being dropped every single minute. When we are with our families, we think of those who are the last of theirs because the rest have become shaheed. I want all of you to remember, despite all of this, do not despair. We are believers in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the all-knowing, the all-seeing, and the rest of all of His asma that we use to glorify Him. We believe in Him. We are His believers. And when you are with Allah Azza wa Jal, nothing can ever defeat you.
Takbir! Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
So when the tests become unbearable and the pain is too much, when the victory appears the furthest it has ever seemed, that is in fact when we know the victory is close. And we must believe this from our iman. We must believe this. Not because I said it, but because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it in the Quran. What does He say? He says, when He is questioned, Mata Nasrullah, He answers, Ala inna Nasrullahi qareeb, that the victory of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is close. And when was this revealed? This was revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his Sahaba when they were being persecuted in Mecca, when Sumayya radiallahu anha was killed and she became the first shaheed, when Bilal radiallahu anhu was being tortured in the desert, when Khabbab ibn al-Arat was being tortured to the extent that many years later, Umar radiallahu anhu, he asked Khabbab to lift his shirt, and when he saw the effects of the torture, he started to cry and his eyes were filled with tears to the extent his beard was soaked. This is when it was revealed. This was revealed when the Sahaba radiallahu anhu ajma'een, they said to the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, those who were filled with iman and taqwa with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they asked the Prophet, when will the victory come? The same way we ask now. And what did Allah respond with? He responded with the hijrah. He responded that 8 years afterwards, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came to Mecca after he had been kicked out, after he had been killed with his Sahaba, after they had been tortured. He came back 8 years later and he came to conquer Mecca without any blood being spilled.
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
So I ask you, do not despair. To the Zionists who think they are winning, who think they are in the right, you are at the height of your arrogance. And remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroys nations when they reach their most arrogant. The same way He destroyed the nation of Ad, the same way He destroyed the nation of Thamud, the same way He destroyed the nation of Fir'aun. So again, to all of you here and to the ummah around the world, do not despair, for the victory is close. And I say to us, for us to achieve victory, we look to the sunnah of how Allah created this life. Whenever you rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you want to rely upon Him, He gives you material actions to undertake. You want to pass an exam, you study. You want shifa from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you ask for medical assistance. You want to strive in this dunya for anything in this life, you put in the effort. And the same way now we ask for victory. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us actions to do. And I want to emphasize 3 points. The first being, as this banner states, Islam says that for occupied land to be liberated, it requires military intervention. And the only people able to do so are not individuals, not militias, not battalions, but armies. Muslim armies must liberate Palestine, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt and whoever else. They are filled with armies, filled with Muslims who believe in La ilaha illallah. So the responsibility lies upon them to liberate our ummah. So the first point, the message that needs to go far and wide, is that no ceasefire will fix this, no two-state solution, only liberation will solve the plight of our brothers and sisters.
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar!
The second point, the rulers in our land must be held to account. We must expose them. They do not represent us. They are the barriers between the victory and the Muslims. They have their allegiance to the kuffar. And to the Muslim politicians here, to the MPs, to the councillors, they also do not represent us. They have stayed silent on this issue in fear of losing their position. So I asked them, what was the point of your position? What was the point of you asking for our votes if when we need you the most, you become cowards? So they don't represent us as well. That is the second point. And the third point, to all of us here, as all of you know, there is an information war, a propaganda war taking place against the Muslims. And I tell you this, even though the Muslims, they don't own any social media companies, they don't have no state backing, they don't have millions and billions pumped into them, the Muslims are winning. And how do I know this? Why else does censorship exist? Why else does shadow banning exist? Why else are we trying to be silent? If the Muslims were losing, this would not be happening. So these 3 points, Muslim brothers and sisters. Number one, the Muslim armies must liberate Palestine, and this is the only solution. The second point, the rulers and the politicians must be exposed that their allegiance is not with the Ummah, not with us, but with the kuffar. And the third one, with these devices we have, we are the voice for the voiceless. These devices which can send messages around the world. So keep spreading these points, because you never know when this message will reach somebody who believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who inshallah can liberate Palestine for us. And that is all I have to say. And remember, there will be leaflets going around which will reiterate these points as well.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله محمد رسول الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله غزة جنودك يا الله غزة جنودك يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله غزة جنودك يا الله غزة جنودك يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله انصر جندك يا الله انصر جندك يا الله
Ya Allah, help and protect the Ummah of Palestine.
آمين
Ya Allah, ease their pain and suffering.
آمين
Ya Allah, bestow your mercy on them.
آمين
Ya Allah, fortify their hearts and calm them.
آمين
Like you granted peace to Sumayya radiallahu anha. Like you granted peace to Bilal radiallahu anhu. Like you granted peace to all of the Sahaba. Ya Allah, bestow your mercy on them. Ya Allah, give them victory. Ya Al-Fattah, you are the opener of doors, peace, grant them freedom and victory.
آمين
Ya Allah, aid the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, disgrace the Zionists.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, destroy them.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, like you destroyed the nation of Ad, like you destroyed the nation of Thamud and Fir'aun. Ya Allah, help and protect the Ummah of Palestine.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, help and give victory to the Mujahideen who are fighting in your name, Ya Rabb.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, help and liberate Palestine.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, help liberate Masjid al-Aqsa.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, grant us an opportunity to pray there before we pass away.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, help us liberate the rest of the world,
Ameen.
which is living under kufr and dhulm. Ya Allah, grant us the khilafah. Ya Allah, grant us the shield and imam to fight behind.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, make us courageous and never cower when speaking the haqq.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, make us worthy of being part of the Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
آمين
Ya Allah, make us pass away on the word of La ilaha illallah wa
Ameen.
Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, bring us victory.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, bring us victory to the Philistine.
Ameen.
Ya Allah, bring us victory to the rest of the Ummah soon, Ya Rabbil Alameen. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين سبحان ربنا رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.